Have you ever wondered why you sometimes feel stuck in the same patterns, no matter how hard you try to change, or why certain thoughts and emotions seem to control your life, pulling you back into frustration, self doubt, or fear? What if I told you that everything in your life, the way you feel, how you think, the struggles you face, is rooted in a hidden architect working behind the scene? This architect of your reality is your ego. When most people hear the word ego, they think of pride, arrogance, or someone who's full of themselves. But the ego is far more complex and subtle. It's not just an overinflated sense of self. Your ego is the part of you that identifies with who you think you are. It is the lens through which we see the world. It crafts the stories we tell ourselves, and it thrives on keeping us in familiar patterns, good or bad, because that's how it maintains control. It's the voice in your head that says, I'm not good enough. I'll never be successful. Or even, I need to prove myself. It's the identity you've constructed built on past experiences, social conditioning, and the beliefs you've absorbed from the world around you. Think of it like this: the ego, being the architect of your matrix, creates walls and structures in your mind that limit your perception of what's possible. But here's the catch: it's all built on subconscious programs, stories that were written long ago, based on experiences that may no longer serve you. The ego loves to keep you in survival mode. It thrives on predictability, routine, and keeping you in the familiar, even if that familiar is causing you pain. Why? Because that's how it maintains control. Whether you are aware of it or not, the ego's job is to keep you safe, at least according to its outdated program. The ego's grip on you isn't just mental. It affects your thoughts, feelings, and even your physical body. Have you ever noticed how when you're caught in a negative thought loop, that your body tenses up? Or when you're feeling emotionally low, you suddenly lack energy? That's because your ego is directly tied to your nervous system and your energetic field. So let's say you have a deeply ingrained belief, like, I'm not worthy of love. Your ego will reinforce that belief by creating situations in your life that seem to confirm it. You'll find yourself in relationships where you're undervalued or in jobs where you feel unappreciated. The ego literally shapes your experiences of the world to match its narrative. And as long as you're unaware of it, you'll continue to live within the walls it built. It doesn't matter what you're facing in life: a chronic illness, feeling stuck in your career, or constant emotional turmoil. These are all expression of your ego's grip on. It's the architect designing a reality based on the subconscious programming you've absorbed since childhood. Your ego loves to keep you in a state of fear, doubt, and lack because the ego thrives on survival. And in today's world, it survives by keeping you locked in the familiar, often feeding you stories that hold you back. It convinces you that you're separate from others, that you're not enough, or that your identity is everything. But here's the truth: you are far more than your ego leads you to believe. It's important to understand that the ego isn't evil. It's not something we need to destroy. In fact, its original role was to protect us from harm, especially when we were children. And this is why most people don't even realize they're living in the matrix of the ego's design. They feel powerless, wondering why they can't break free from certain cycles, why the same patterns repeat, and why true change feels just out of reach. As we grow, the ego's outdated programming keeps us trapped in limiting patterns, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So how do we even begin to shift this? How do we break free from the ego's grip? It's not about eliminating it. It's about recognizing it for what it is, a survival mechanism. The first step is awareness. You start by recognizing the ego's voice when it arises. Ask yourself, who is speaking here? Is this my authentic self? Or is this my ego trying to maintain control? One of the most powerful tools to disrupt the ego's narrative is mindfulness, paying attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. When you do this, you create a space between you and the story the ego is telling. That space is where transformation begins. Another key practice is to observe how your ego responds to discomfort. When you feel anxious, angry, or defensive, ask yourself, what is my ego protecting right now? What story is it trying to preserve? The more you bring these hidden patterns into light, the less control they have over you. The beautiful thing is that you don't have to be a prisoner of your ego's matrix. Once you bring awareness to it, you can begin to rewrite the program. You can choose new thoughts, new beliefs, and new feelings that align with your life you truly desire. You can shift from one state of fear and lack to a state of love and abundance. Remember, your ego is not your enemy. It's just a tool that's been working with outdated information. And the more you wake up to its influence, the more you can step into your authentic self, free from the constraints it once imposed. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you're ready to break free from those old patterns and step into a higher vibration, you're in the right place. We'll explore even deeper ways to transcend the ego and live from a place of true empowerment. But for now, just take a moment to reflect. What stories is your ego telling you? And what new reality do you want to create? You have the power to redesign your matrix. Until next time, stay aware, stay present, and remember, you are the creator of your life, not the architect your ego would have you believe. If this resonated with you and you want to dive deeper into understanding and transforming your life, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join me on the path to mastery. We've only just begun.